Batman The Dark Knight #5, written by Paul Jenkins, art by David Finch. We left off last issue with Batman being thrown out, falling, whatever, out of a plane by Deathstroke. He lands in the woods next to a cabin, goes inside, and wouldn't you know, it's Scarecrow, who is, of course, the mastermind of the fear-removing toxin operation of the entire series so far. This issue picks up, he just starts fighting Scarecrow. Scarecrow unleashes his fear toxin and just starts going off on the whole philosophy thing of, oh, Batman, fear is the truth and life, and you will see behind it. And Batman just charges through, and he's like, you've tried the fear toxin stuff on me before. I always beat it. And he's like, perhaps, but this time I know your secret. That heroism is the mask that you use to hide your fear. And it's like, okay, this is just more philosophy. It's everything we've been covering in the past few issues. But he doses him with the fear toxin, and it, works. Batman lands a few hits, but then we see the inner machination of Batman's fears, and it's a bunch of, the Bat family and the Rogues Gallery and all these creepy-looking images, and it's nice art. I'm not going to say it's not nice art. In fact, this entire issue feels like it's mostly about the art and not so much the writing, but I'll get to that. But we get some double-page spreads on that. And then Batman pushes through it. He tackles Scarecrow, or at least he thinks he does. It's all in his head already. And Scarecrow just basically points out, the thing you're afraid of is the fact that you're not saving everybody, that someone out there is going to get hurt. And you know what? You're right. Doesn't that suck? So he's basically just showing, he's trying to land a couple of hits on Batman, which it's Scarecrow against Batman. Physically, that doesn't seem to work. But hey, there's blood being drawn, so something's happening. And Scarecrow just basically tells him, I'm going to show everyone in Gotham that underneath you're just as scared and empty as everyone else. So Batman's cowering, trying to get over the fear toxin. And, talking a big game, but still just down on the ground, basically fetal position. And Scarecrow whips out the serum that he's been using on everybody else. And he's like, all right, well, time to use this. So he jams in the anti-fear toxin, the reverse fear, whatever you want to call it. And Batman freaks out, but then collapses as Scarecrow's like, okay, well, somebody's coming, so I gotta go. Bye. And he just walks out the front door, closes it behind him. And who should come in behind him but Superman, with his glowing heat vision eyes, as he stands over Batman's possibly lifeless corpse. But Superman's like, hey, Batman, Wonder Woman said you needed help. What's up? And Batman's like, oh, you gotta go get Scarecrow. Just get away from me. And Superman's like, oh, Scarecrow, this is fear toxin stuff? Oh, don't worry, buddy. You beat that 100 times. There's nothing else to get to. He's like, oh, get away from me, you alien. And then he freaks out and punches Superman through a wall. He's fully hulked out and doing all the anti-fear stuff as everybody else. He ain't afraid of nothing. So then it's just this it's BVS. It's literally just Batman v Superman for the rest of the issue. He's landing hits on Superman, and they're actually causing some amount of damage because he's extra strong now, I guess. And Superman just keeps telling him, dude, I get that this is probably a fear toxin thing, but you know that you are no physical match for me. Please stand down or I will knock you down. And Batman just keeps going on you show up, wrap yourself in the American flag and try to control us, you fascist alien. Those Justice League members, they're perverting my sense of justice, so I'll take them out next and blah, blah, blah. I know you're afraid of me. And Superman's like, all right, well, that's enough. And he just basically, he has Batman up in the air while they're fighting, and he just drops him, or tosses him to the ground, I should say. Which is, of course, enough, because Batman's just human. He goes through the roof of the cabin, he collapses on the ground, and seemingly goes back to normal without the whole nearly dying thing that everyone else has. But as Superman lands, he lands down next to Batman, says, Batman, I'm sorry, A Batman? Yoo-hoo, Batman. And once again, his heat vision eyes activate, which I really, I don't understand why this is here, but they're doing it, so whatever. And that's actually where the issue ends. So this really feels like more of a stopgap than anything else. I don't know how else to put it, because it's just everything that Scarecrow was saying in the front half, we've already heard. by everyone else who's taken that serum about, oh, but fear is the real truth and blah, blah, blah. And even Batman's narration to himself throughout this whole comic is about how his own fear and blah, 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 blah. Like, they're just repeating the same points over and over and over again. It's like, okay, class, you have to write a one-page essay on fear and how it is either useful or not. Go. And then this is just a collection of that class's essays, one per issue. It's not helpful to me. And when it comes down to the art, it's fine. It's great. There's actually 2 double-page spreads in here. One of Batman punching Superman in the rain and the lightning, and another of Batman's fears. Both of which, fantastic. I cannot fault the art at all. It is very well done. My only critique is, why does Superman have his heat vision eyes going? He has it when he visits Batman and just walks in on his possibly mangled corpse, and then does it again as he hovers over Batman's possibly mangled corpse. Is it supposed to be like an X-ray thing? It's definitely red heat vision, though, so I don't know. Overall, I'm going to give this one a 6 out of 10. I'm done with the fear philosophy class. I really am. It's just not... It's not doing anything. This issue especially. What was discovered this issue? What was done this issue? What proceeded this issue? Nothing. We already figured Scarecrow is behind it because, of course, he is. It's fear toxin. And Batman got dosed, and of course he's not going to die, so he's going to come back in the next issue. So, what are we doing here? It gets a 6 because I don't feel like anything's happening. And this is supposed to be the big blockbuster thing, but even this action scene of Batman v Superman is all right, well, he doesn't have kryptonite, so we know nothing's going to happen here. So, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm hoping for in this book anymore. I'm hoping that it changes the story.